Leo, what's going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy via the tarot, astrology, and any channeled messages that come through. So let's get into it. We are in Taurus season officially. We're just coming off of a new moon in Taurus, which was definitely needed, definitely welcome. There's been some heightened water element in the astrology. I've talked a lot about this. There's been a cluster of planets, specifically Saturn and Venus and the North Node, a little bit of Neptune, and it's really highlighting places where there are disconnects in relationships. Not only relationships with other people, other situations, but also ourselves, right? Things where we kind of like quote unquote need to get right. And this is not fun because it's bringing a lot of feels. It's bringing a lot of tension. The fire element has started to enliven as some of those planets move into Aries. And it's bringing up a lot of tension, a lot of aggression, especially around the places where we're not vibing with people, situations anymore. And there's like no budging, you know, people, well, whatever. It's a rough time. Like, it's been active. There's been a lot going on in the astrology, and the transits have been like both good and not so fun, right? So just kind of navigating all of that stuff. And the value is when we move a little bit slower right now, we're actually going to be more apt to choose something that's better situated, better suited for us. You feel a little bit tired lately, Leo. That's what I'm picking up. Like, I just feel this energy drain. We'll get into it as we pull a little bit more, but that is why I like to start off with these energy cleansings, just to set the tone, set the vibe for the reading, cleanse out those places that we're feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, limited, blocked, etc. And it's also a really good time to set your own intention, especially if you've come into this reading with something on your heart, on your mind, something that you want spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give that over. Be open to receive. It's a great way to personalize these collective readings. And I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing, wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, or if you're just looking for more of a rebalancing of mind, body, soul, I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. When we're aligned in self, when we feel good, self-aware, strong, supported, that's when we're manifesting our abundance. Self-care is so important when it comes to manifestation. So I would love to help support in whatever way possible. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. All right, Leo, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being. So we may see and understand the messages clearly and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love. All right, Leo, let's get into it. So you feel tired, you feel like exhausted, but it's like complete energy depletion. But I also feel like some of this is coming from like holding on to something a little bit too tightly. Like almost in a way that as I'm saying this, the mountain pops out 100%. Almost in a way that like it's detrimental. And that's exactly what the mountain is about in the Lenormand, is it's all about like not being able to pass. You shall not pass, right? And when we get into those spaces, while it's like super important, super good to hold our boundaries 100%, and we're in a time where we need boundaries, things are looking a little bit different than what you had anticipated. I feel like this holding on is in part because you're still waiting for things to evolve a little bit more to see how the chips will fall if you may. Yeah, we got a lot of newness around you, new opportunities, but it doesn't feel good. Like, I don't know. It's not that the opportunities don't feel good, but like, I don't know that you're excited about this is kind of what I'm seeing. Yeah. You feel like I feel like you've come from a time that's been pretty overwhelming. There's our mountain card in the blocked energy. So you've come from a time that's just been very overwhelming and maybe even lost some of your hope, some of your belief in life and people. Because you're definitely starting this new phase, yeah, with a new perspective in mind. And whatever this perspective is, it doesn't feel super comfortable. It doesn't feel super comfortable. You made a choice to cut some things off. Maybe it was a little bit ruthless. Maybe this is, I don't know. I'm feeling like you're not really addressing some of the harder stuff. Whatever, I don't mean that in rudeness or to throw shade by any means. We all do it, right? A little bit of avoidance. And I don't know that you are ready to go down that road quite yet, because I feel like there's something within you that's self-protecting a little bit. You're just not ready. You're not ready because you're so exhausted. But part of that, again, is coming from, this might even be like places that you, not only are you refusing, but like places that you're choosing to put yourself in a difficult dynamic, right? Like making things harder on yourself than what they actually need to be. Okay, so Chariot in your environment, wanting to be with, the Queen of Bones. So we have Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy. So, okay, yeah, like it looks like someone's kind of doing their own thing. I feel like you've definitely walked away or separated yourself from this person, from this individual, because whatever tactics they were using to kind of get ahead have been pretty shady or like low vibey, meaning lying, cheating, manipulating the situation in order to get ahead. This is someone who feels pretty selfish or self-focused, and I don't know, it looks like they've made choices to separate themselves from you, from the dynamic, but it's not being done, like I said, in a very healthy way. It feels actually pretty toxic. It feels pretty toxic, and to the point that like maybe they're trying to tell you you're toxic, or they're, I'm almost hearing like they're getting really offended about something. Someone, like I don't know, like either this is a difference of opinion, a difference of perspective that you have with someone else and they're choosing to do it anyway. I do feel it does look like you are getting some backlash from this, but at the same time, this is also something that you feel is really important to do for yourself. It's not, and we've actually been seeing who got, Taurus, I think, had a very similar reading. Taurus, Earth energy right here. You could have Taurus placements, be dealing with a Taurus, but it's this energy of like, even if you're moving a little bit slower this week, even if you're not seeing a lot of progress in this situation, you're kind of content with it. Because with this person unleashing, well, really the Devil and the Eight of Cups, these are both about toxicities, right? This does feel like someone who is lying. They're basically saying like, oh no, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. And then they actually are, right? They actually are. And it looks like you are starting to see this a little bit more, or this is coming home to your territory. Someone's bringing their drama, bringing things that like, you're like, no, I don't want this. I don't want this because, there's some things that are like coming out, sorry, Leo, sorry, that feel really overwhelming. I don't know. This feels definitely like someone said something and it's gonna stress you out a lot. But here's the deal. We have the King of Swords. King of Swords is really, really good at being super decisive, right? Weighing the pros and the cons, looking at things incredibly analytically. And it's actually helping you wait this all out. There's something about this that even though whatever, like someone is making it messier than what it needs to be, I feel like this King of Swords is giving you really sound advice on how to navigate. It looks like you're putting a pause button. That's probably why the energy is moving so slow for you this week. I definitely get a lot of like self-protection, you know, as things are changing. Maybe this is someone who would come to you and confide in you, or, you know, you used to kind of think, believe, feel the same things, and now you're seeing that it's not so much. There is a little bit of a disconnect, and like I said, to the point that it feels actually really unhealthy and toxic. You're over and done with this, Leo. You're like ready to move on from this, but either you're a little bit too entangled with this situation. This message card has been popping up for a lot of signs. So to me, I'm seeing this as like the gaps are being filled in. Where we didn't have as much information, where we didn't have as much confidence in the past, now things are starting to come to light. And like I said, it's specifically around people and our relationships, what they think, what they feel, how they are acting and behaving, and whether or not it's something that you want to vibe with. I mean, honestly, Leo, this definitely is saying like you're ready to start fresh. I feel like there's something important that you are trying to protect, and maybe again, like I actually think that once you're able to kind of make some choices around this person's situation, some of this mountain energy is going to clear for you, meaning I feel like some of these blocks are going to be lifted as you move through it. Yeah, I definitely love this. It does feel like a little bit of an initiation. Taking time out to heal yourself. Don't be so afraid is what I'm hearing. Don't be so afraid. Have courage to find the information that you need to find out this week, Leo, because it's going to help you overcome this obstacle that has, like, I feel like been standing in your way for quite some time, even if it's not readily apparent. This is finding that source of love, connecting back to love, right? Connecting back to love and finding a way to like recognize that these things can be a gift, right? Even the harshest, worst thing that we wish wouldn't happen or we weren't going through, those can be such a blessing in disguise. And I'm not trying to be too altruistic, like literally, unfortunately, but literally. And that's where Spirit wants you to readjust the perspective. Instead of being afraid of this person's situation, what they're going to do, the way that they destroy, or whatever this tower moment is that they're bringing in. I don't know if you might not be expecting it, but it's not anything new that they've, like, I feel like it is in character for them, whatever this tower is, however that plays out. But again, you have support, and you have support from someone who's wise, who's smart, and who's going to help you move out of this anxiety. So it's not feeling like you don't have your power or you're beholden to whatever this toxicity is. Find your strength this week. Find your power this week. Find your confidence this week, Leo. It's going to take you a long way. All right, with that, thank you so much for your time, energy, always. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope you found messages that resonated for you here. Definitely drop comments below. I would love to hear, or just say, hey, share, and a little love, little TLC. I so appreciate all the love, all the support you bring to the channel. Now I'm sending it back your way.